On the news, Rivers Administrator Ibas urges citizens to rise above division as emergency rule winds down. Senate President Akpabio urges patience, says President Tinubu's reforms will deliver prosperity. And Minister of Solid Mineral Development Alake hails Ansaru Commander's jail team as breakthrough in fight against illegal mining. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the news at 3. Now, do you love and care about Rivers State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. My name is Helen Eric Jeremy, welcoming you once more. Rivers State Administrator Vice Admiral Ibokete Ikwe-Ibas, retired, has appealed to Rivers people to do away with bitterness, political rivalry, and self-interest in order to forge a united path toward peace and sustainable development. Vice Admiral Ibas made the appeal during an interdenominational church Thanksgiving service held at the Economical Center in Port Harcourt. Tamino Maribi Blubo takes it from here.
The church service was part of official events marking the state's transition to democratic governance following the recent peaceful local government elections. Vice Admiral Ibas, reflecting on the last 6 months of his administration, said that seeds of love and peace have been sown deliberately, which now require the collective nurturing of all Rivers people to enable it flourish. He stated that the progress and prosperity of Rivers State must be placed above personal or partisan interest, and politics must never be used to destroy the state.
Truly, it was God who kept Rivers State. This service is a solemn testimony of God's faithfulness to Rivers State. We have survived storms, political, social, economic, and through it all, God has been faithful. The seeds of reconciliation have been planted. These seeds need your deliberate nurture to take roots. Our collective sacrifices and commitment to peace is what we must all strive to guard at this time. In the same spirit, Rivers people must rise above bitterness, rivalry, and self-interest to pursue the greater good of our state.
Vice Admiral Ibas, while thanking God for grace, President Bola Tinubu for his support, and Rivers people for their resilience, urged the youth to resist being used as instrument of violence, but channel their energies into building a peaceful and prosperous state.
I make a special appeal to our political actors: shade your sword. Politics must never be an excuse to destroy the very state we are called to serve. The progress and prosperity of Rivers State must be placed above personal or partisan interest. Rivers State cannot afford another season of division and acrimony. We must forgive one another, reconcile with sincerity, and embrace tolerance. Let us remember that no political victory or personal gain is worth the blood of our brothers and sisters. Let us forgive, let us reconcile, and let us heal. For where there is peace, there is progress. And where there is love, there is prosperity.
In a sermon, chaplain of the Chapel of Everlasting Grace, Gadmeras, Pastor Bara Singh Ogan, urged Rivers people to let go of the past and work synergically to build a better River State. The service featured scripture readings by the Secretary to the State Government, Vivia Loki Wurka, and special prayers were offered for the administrator, his team, and the continued peace and prosperity of River State. Tamuno Barabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
Man was created uniquely by God to take charge, to nurture, build, and develop wherever he found himself. In this special report, God's Power annually examines the role of men in the home and nation. Let's take a listen.
Since creation, man had been inundated with specific responsibilities in the home, the society, to enthrone lasting progress, encourage others, and win souls for Jesus Christ. To confirm the place of man on earth, God made him the head of the home, community, the country, and the society. The big question is man living up to his responsibilities? Ministers of the word lend their voices.
Every man should know their role, and most importantly, in terms of moral upbringing. As a matter of fact, when a man is not there, both the women and children know that there's a vacuum. So when a man comes in, he sets the pace for morality, he sets the pace for sustenance, he makes provision, and he brings in discipline. And in the church, when men are in church, the one that we did it in the temple of spirituality, the one that will ensure that children and the others will fall in line.
As a father, you are supposed to stand there for them. Be a defense, be a shield to your family and to the society. So like we were saying that, so men ought to be celebrated. So whether as a father or as a husband, celebrate your man. As a woman, honor your husband. Children, honor your parents. Maybe those you say, my father did not do well, my father did not do well. But the Bible says that honor your father and your mother. So God demands that men should be honored. Honor is something that does not just go by words. Honor go by sacrifice. Honor go with gift.
These Christian faithful also shared their views.
If the man fails, the entire family fails as well. And so that is why in all things, if you want the family to be very fine, you first of all ensure that the man is well positioned. But if the man is well positioned, then he can give direction to the family. And when the family is well built, the family can give position to the society. So if you see a faith society, you have seen a faith family.
I know what to give to my husband. I go to the market and bought a gift for him. In the church, I will present that gift to my husband.
I used to buy good gift for him. I cook delicious food for him. I hug him. I kiss him. I say, my Lord, my sweetheart, you are sweet.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
Mr. Godswill Akpabio has appealed to Nigerians to remain patient and hopeful as the country undergoes critical reforms under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, assuring that the ongoing transformation will soon translate into prosperity and national renewal. In a statement from his media office, Akpabio made the appeal while speaking as chairman at the opening of the second plenary meeting of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in Ikot, Ekpene, Akwa Ibom State. He urged Nigerians not to be discouraged by prevailing economic challenges, noting that nation building is a gradual process requiring collective sacrifice, endurance, and faith. Drawing from Isaiah 40 verses 31, he added that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. The Senate President also stressed the importance of collaboration between the church and the state in the task of transformation. Representing President Tinubu at the event, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, reaffirmed the administration's commitment to delivering lasting economic reforms and inclusive growth. He called on the church to continue supporting the government, assuring that no segment of society will be left behind in its social investment programs. Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, has hailed the conviction of Ansari commander Mahmoud Usman as a major victory in the fight against illegal mining and its links to terrorism financing. Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court, Abuja, sentenced Usman to 15 years in prison and ordered him remanded to face 31 additional terrorism-related charges. In a statement, Alake praised the judiciary for reinforcing government efforts to dismantle criminal networks exploiting Nigeria's mineral resources. The minister disclosed that his ministry would would closely monitor the proceedings of the remaining 31 terrorism cases involving Ansaru commanders. He said regulators must draw lessons from the cases to strengthen capacity to combat illegal mining. Alake also commended the Directorate of State Security Services, DSS, for its role in tracking, detecting, and arresting the terrorists. Now, from the aviation sector, we bring this report that Nigeria's Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, says it has recorded a rise in passenger refunds between January and August 2025, which amounted to 257.2 million naira. Latest data released by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimogu, followed the regulator's prolonged interface with airlines and embark campaign with air travelers. Hotel accommodation refunds under the provisions on Part 19 of the NCAA regulations also climbed to 6.08 million by July 2025, supported by verified reports from hotels in Abuja, Asaba, and Lagos. He attributed the growth to greater adherence by airlines to the NCAA's consumer protection framework, despite the operational challenges in the industry. The surge was a significant leap from 108.3 million naira recorded in the same period of 2024 and 32.8 million naira in 2023. The President of Botswana, His Excellency Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, has appointed Nigerian banker and investment executive Gomel as chairman of the board of directors of the newly launched Botswana Sovereign Wealth Fund Limited, a multi-billion-dollar vehicle designed to diversify the nation's economy beyond diamonds. Gomel, who is also chairman of Union Bank PLC and the vice chairman of Tropical General Investment TGI Group, is the immediate past chairman of Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA. His appointment was announced during the official launch of the BSRWF at the President's office in Gaborone. Speaking at the launch, President Boko described the creation of the fund as a historic milestone in Botswana's development strategy. According to the President, Farouk Gumel will chair a deeply experienced and diverse board selected to provide comprehensive and strategic oversight. The board's composition reflects a powerful blend of local expertise and global vision, uniting key national and international figures. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights, for this is a task you and I must accomplish. Still on the news at 3, World Health Organization begins Ebola vaccinations in Democratic Republic of Congo as outbreak spreads. And Qatar hosts Arab Islamic Emergency Summit over Israeli strike on Doha. Details shortly.
Hello, caller, how are you?
I'm fine, ma.
About that, your handout, what is the cost again?
Just give me a minute, mommy. Let me confirm. I'm not sure of the exact price.
My good boy, how may I help you?
For two of us, sir.
I'll get back to you. Oh, no, man.
Sir?
Are those handouts ready?
Yes, sir.
How much is a copy?
200.
Oh, okay. My boy.
Yes, sir.
350 naira.
Mommy, they said the handout is just 500 naira.
Well, I'll let your daddy know. Honey, caller says the price of the handout is 3,500 naira.
3,500 naira?
Even me, I'm shocked. It's horrible. What's going on in this country? I don't get it.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the River State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining. balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thank you for staying with us. Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NORD, has suspended its nationwide strike following the federal government's commitment to commence immediate payment of the Medical Residency Training Fund to beneficiaries. NORD President Dr. Tope Osundare, who confirmed the suspension in a text message, directed members to resume work immediately. According to Osundare, while the MRTF payment triggered the suspension, other demands remain unresolved. They include unpaid arrears, downgrade of membership certificates, manpower shortages, and the release of a created circular on the remuneration for doctors from the National Salaries, Incomes, and Wages Commission, NSIWC. The resident doctors had embarked on strike on Friday after the expiration of a 24-hour grace period that followed their earlier 10-day ultimatum, which lapsed on September 10. It was learned that the Ministers of Labor and Employment, as well as the State for Health and Social Welfare, met with NORD leadership over the weekend to convey government's decision. From the business sector now, with the Debt Management Office has announced the allotment of the September 2025 federal government savings bonds totaling 3.05 billion naira across the 2-year and 3-year tenures. The bonds were issued at 1,000 naira per unit with a minimum subscription requirement of 5,000 naira and in multiples of 1,000 naira thereafter, after a maximum subscription of 50 million naira. The federal government savings bond program, introduced in 2017, was designed to deepen the domestic bond market, promote financial inclusion, and offer retail investors access to secure low-risk development government securities. The DMO noted that the 2-year FGN savings bond due September 2027 was allotted at an interest rate of 15.541% per annum, raising 631.762 million naira from 793 successful subscriptions. On the foreign scene, the World Health Organization WHO has begun vaccinating frontline health workers and contacts of infected individuals in response to a new Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Kasai province. An initial 400 doses of the Ebola vaccine have been delivered to Pulapi, the epicenter of the outbreak, from a national stockpile of 2,000 doses. The International Coordinating Group on Vaccine Provision has approved the shipment of an additional 45,000 doses to help contain the spread. The outbreak, declared in early September, is the DRC's first in 3 years. According to the Health Ministry in Kinshasa, the virus, which thrives in the country's dense tropical forest, has so far resulted in 32 suspected cases, 20 confirmed, and 16 deaths. WHO Program Area Manager Patrick Otim warned that the outbreak could expand, especially after a case was confirmed 70 kilometers from Pulapi. Still on the foreign scene, an emergency meeting of Arab and Islamic State has taken place in Qatar in response to
reflected in the
strike on Hamas leaders in Doha last week. A draft resolution seen by the news agency condemns what it calls Israel's hostile acts, including genocide, ethnic cleansing, and starvation, which it says threatens prospects of peace and coexistence. Israel has strongly denied such allegations. It is not clear what practical decisions could be taken, as analysts say any kind of military response is out of the question. Earlier, Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdurrahman bin Jassin Al Thani urged the international community to stop applying double standards and to punish Israel. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem, with the aftermath of Israel's strike in Qatar expected to be high on the agenda. The meeting comes as Arab leaders hold a summit in a show of support for Qatar. His Prime Minister urged the international community to stop applying double standards and to punish Israel. The Gulf state hosts a major U.S. airbase and has played a key role in brokering diplomatic efforts to end the war in Gaza, serving as a mediator of indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel. Last week's strike, which targeted senior Hamas leaders in the close U.S. allies territory, drew international outrage and was criticized by President Donald Trump. Finals of the football tournament hosted by the Christ Embassy Church ended with a charge to the youth to channel their energies towards useful ventures. The football tournament held at the River State Television Playfield in Lelemo was in commemoration of this year's Christ Embassy Crusade. Melvin Jackson tells us more.
The week-long football tournament, which aimed to win souls for Christ, garnered club sides from Port Harcourt City, Obiakpo local government areas and its environs. Chairman of the organizing committee, Carlo Iroha, gave accolade to participating clubs and players for being resilient and peaceful, just as he thanked the president of Love World Christ Embassy, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, and the sponsor of the tournament, Pastor Isaac, for the opportunity to showcase hidden talents. Iroha, who admonished both teams not to relent in their endeavors to be international players, said the competition came at the right time, promising it will be an annual event to explore talents, salvage souls, and advise the youth to venture into life-changing activities to better their lots.
What we in Christ Embassy, our convention ground that just did is to win boys to Christ, win stars to Christ, and we will as well help them that to move their future forward.
Coaches and players alike expressed their feelings.
For my boys, at least, for God to use them, not only here, they should go international. I pray for that opportunity to come for them, so that they will experience something good and something better for their family.
But all good, we went to a penalty shootout and we lost 6-5. But it's all good. This is my first major loss trophy in the history of my club, Havana United.
I feel happy definitely now. For we all the way from Ropakulisi to come here and be the winner of the tournament. We really thank God and appreciate.
This is not just organizing a competition, it's also a means of bringing people from far and near together. So it's also a means to reach out to others outside. So I must commend them for their efforts.
The football tournament left an indelible mark, a fusion of thrilling football and vibrant faith, all played out amidst Port Harcourt's infectious frenzy, with Upakulusi FC emerging winners with 6-5 against Havana FC of Rukboko in a penalty shootout after full time of play.